Hey, Bushcraft family, back again with another video. Usually I try to take Thursdays off and whatnot, and only put out a video if I think it's important or something like that. So yeah, it's one of those videos. Now everybody knows all the stuff that's going on with Afghanistan and stuff, but I tend to look past all the stuff that the media puts out there because it's all one-sided, and they cover so much of it that you wonder what else is going on. Well, I've been kind of sitting on something for a while, and I had went on a couple live streams last night, was talking about it a little bit, and one of the things is, many of you know that my son is in the Army. And just recently, he was approached to change his MOS. It's military occupation specialist, is what that stands for. Because somebody's going to ask, so I might as well put it out there. It's basically their job. And usually it's quite hard to switch this unless you're very intelligent or you have power or something like that. But he was a mobile artillery. That's what his job was, and he's been deployed twice on doing so, which I was kind of thankful that he went into a different one, which seemed a little bit safer. But again, what they had talked him into, which there's a lot of this going on. They're wanting soldiers to switch to. It's called Tactical Power Generation Specialist. It's those people that run power stations and things, mobile units that go out in the field and power up radar stations and bases and things like that, and keep it going and stuff like that. Usually there's one training facility for this, but now they've upped it a bit and they've added 3 of them in different locations around the United States and whatnot. But they are recruiting these people, having them switch their MOS, and these places are being ran on shifts. So once one class is over, they get another one in there, and they're training these people around the clock. And now with the stuff in Afghanistan, which I already knew this was coming to a head before it had happened, because again, my son is in the military, and I find stuff out basically, and a lot of people are concerned about, oh, they left all this stuff behind, which is true. They do. They leave a lot of stuff behind. When we leave an area, we always leave junk behind. It's just one of those things of military. In April, my son was over there, and they actually went in and assessed vehicles. So if a vehicle was worth keeping, They had a checklist, and they go through this checklist, and if it was worth keeping, they it would get washed up. They would put dust covers over it and put it in a certain location to where it would be hauled back to United States. And mind you, it's headed back to the United States, which all this is I'm getting to. But then they have things that just don't run, or it's been used so much over there that it's run ragged, and it's just not worth keeping. Now, a lot of more high tech ish stuff was put in certain locations to where it would get destroyed, instead of bringing it back and whatnot. But other than that, yeah, everybody's so concerned about Afghanistan and all that stuff. Now, when it comes down to, instead of everybody's eyes is over here, and they're not paying attention to all this equipment and manpower, soldiers are coming back to the United States. They're coming back to our soil, and which is good, but then it's kind of concerning in another way, because normally they do not bring all that stuff back over here because it just costs so much, and a lot of times they'll leave it in bases in a central area and just leave it there in case it's needed. They can just pick it up and go from there. Well, a lot of that stuff is coming home. It's not staying over there. It's not staying in different bases over there, Iraq or Kuwait or anything, Syria. It's staying. It's coming home, and I know there's been a lot of reports of all these caravans of army vehicles and stuff going across the United States and things. That is because it's coming. It's coming from. It has been coming from Afghanistan and other places, and that right there, that's really concerning to me. Now you put in the mix of this other. There's a lot of new training going on in the military right now for, like I said, it's 91D, tactical power generation specialist. And one of the things that they're working on right now is generators that resist EMPs, so that they can run these generators even if there's an EMP, so they can get power to certain things on the ground and whatnot. And this brings me back to another past video that I did about the dark web and things being sold there, access to our power grid, our power stations, and network things to do with our power grid. Now, you may wonder what that has to do with that. Now, what happens if we lose our power in the United States? It's completely shot. Only one that has power is the military, which is good. I mean, our military needs that power and stuff. But my belief though is if you were going to go in and take out a major force, a force that a lot of citizens have their own weapons and stuff. What better thing to do is remove their power, electricity, and wait until they they basically turn on themselves eventually. Be lack of food or water, or just lack of law, and then that would be the perfect time to come in and take over said area. Now, I've been thinking about this for quite a while. Now, this would be the perfect opportunity for another country to come in and take over said place. Just for the fact that without power, eventually we have no water. Um, our citizens would eventually start dying off. We've seen proof of this in Texas, um, with the power going off in the winter months. There's people that froze in place. Um, People ran out of water. They were out there breaking ice to boil in their house and things like that, so that they could get water. Um, so I know it's a very daunting thing, but it's a good thing to think of these things, even though it may not come to pass. And my phone is going crazy over there. Sorry about that. Um, we may not be able to do anything about it, but what we can do is prepare for things like this. Have plenty of water on hand, have food, security for our place. You know what I'm talking about. Um, but things like this um, need to be addressed, and things. Don't get overwhelmed of things that could be. Um, just be wary of them. Have them be knowledgeable about this stuff. That way, if it does happen, then you are prepared for this stuff. But don't let it consume you. Um, and there's plenty of resources, very good YouTubers on this stuff that you can check out that talk about this stuff, and kind of opens people's eyes of things that could be. But again, like I said, with Afghanistan, everybody's concentrated over there about all that stuff is being left behind. Um, be it interpreters and things like that fought side by side and stuff. Again, these people were told months and months and months ago that they needed to leave. Some did stay. I'm not saying it's okay or anything like that, but everybody's concentrated about that stuff going on over there. They don't realize this guy over here is doing things behind your back and stuff, while everybody's looking at this. So always be mindful of every every media is focused on one thing. Start thinking about what's going on. What are they trying to make you make you see over here when something else is going on back there? Um, Start looking at little things around, and we may never know what why why all this equipment, all these soldiers are coming home. Is there something else going on? There's just so many different little nitbits of information that comes in that it's hard to process it all. Um, Certain congressmen leaving tweets and stuff like that, and then getting removed really fast. It's just crazy. But yeah, I need to get off here before I start jabbering way too much. I've probably already jabbered too much anyway. But guys, it's just something I wanted to uh, make aware. Um, some of the things that are it's going on makes you wonder. Um, is the next thing coming? Is it going to be on our soil? So it's something to think about. Until next time, everybody, please be safe and God bless.